My name is Abdul Wali Shaheed, and I'll be your hostess for this segment, which is capturing the history of Islam in America. We have to my right one of our pioneers, Minister Humza Al-Hafeez, who will be sharing with us in this segment his experiences in the past, his experiences of today, and some of his insights for tomorrow. All right. First, I want to welcome you. I'm thankful that you're here. We thank Allah for granting us this opportunity to share these moments with you. I know you've done quite a bit. I know some things of you, and we've had a chance to talk a little bit earlier. What people are really interested in right now, or some of the things that people are interested in, where was your first exposure, and when was your first exposure in Islam? How long, we know that Islam goes way back, but in America, and with the movement of the Nation of Islam, when was your first exposure to Islam?
First exposure was, I said exposure me in the paper. I read about Dizzy Gillespie, Dakota Staten, being Muslims. I didn't pay any mind though. I just read about. I thought it was just something they joined, a new religion, something new that they joined. Mm-hmm. Then I went to a bazaar at the Manhattan Trade Center on 35th Street. Okay. And traveling through the bazaar, I bought a copy of Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
Okay.
I took it home. I read it from cover to cover. I subscribed to it that day.
Wow.
That next day. It was 15 cents a copy.
Okay.
$1.80 a year. So I subscribed to it. And then paper didn't come every month. There was periods where they miss issues. I got upset about it. I'm not thinking about a religion like a religion. I'm thinking about this is good reading.
Okay. Now this is the paper that was issued by the then Nation of Islam,
yes,
under the leadership of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes.
Okay.
So I bought this. So I went down to 116th Street. And I demanded the paper.
Okay.
And then they gave me some copies. And then I went to a bazaar at the 69th Armory in Harlem, 669th. And I heard Minister Malcolm there for the first time.
What year was that?
My nature is this. Where did he get it from? He sound good, but where did he get it from?
What year was that?
63.
Wow. Okay.
And Malcolm was the only minister that I heard at that, and haven't heard anybody since then, except myself, who said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us.
Okay. Before he spoke about a particular subject. Right, right.
He projected the Muhammad.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I opened a bookstore on 66 called The Word Bookshop.
Wow.
It was the second black bookstore in Brooklyn. It became very, very famous. So I started selling Muhammad Speaks there.
Now, what were you famous for? Were you famous for different political books, different cultural books, or what was your religious books? What were...
We had cultural books.
Okay.
But I featured the thesaurus.
Okay.
See, I'm a reading buff. I love to read. I have a library in my house, in my apartment, with about 1,000 books. Man.
Wow. Read them all.
I do research more than read.
Okay, got you. Okay.
I don't read novels. I read books, biographies, books on science, books on the law, the Catholic Bible.
Okay.
It's called the Douay version. I had the Jerusalem Bible. I had the Book of Yahweh. I have the Jehovah's Witness Bible, New World Translation. I have about 6 Bibles in my house.
Okay.
I grew up my father had no religion, but he read the Bible.
Meaning that he didn't go to a particular church, but the Bible was read in your house.
And he taught me that religion is how you live.
That's right.
So when I heard Mr. Muhammad, it sounded familiar.
Okay.
Now, eventually, I took my son, Johanna, and Larry to the temple, and they joined before I did.
Wow. Now, what year was that?
1970.
Okay.
Now, I was a police officer.
In New York?
In New York. Narcotic detective.
Uh-huh.
I would buy Muhammad Speaks, bring it to the precinct, and sell it to the police officers. I would not sell it to the white ones. I said, not for you. I was very strict about this. So in 1960, we backtrack it, 68,
Okay.
Mr. Muhammad sent for me.
Now, let me ask you a question. Being a police officer and being one of the first black detectives, if I'm not mistaken, or narcotics officers, as we had a chance to talk earlier.
We labor on a misconception about who was Muslim. Every black man on this earth are Muslim by nature. Muslim is a characteristic. It's not a religion. It's an adjective.
Submission.
It means one who submits to the will of God. Muhammad taught us every black man under the sun of brothers. When he said black, he meant brown, red, and yellow. He said the only one that was different was the white man. They were not Muslims, he taught us. They practiced Islam, but not Muslims. It's against their nature. That's not far-fetched because when we check into the history of these people from Europe, nowhere in their history had they practiced peace. Nowhere in their history had they went anywhere and found peace and left peace. Nowhere in their history had they went anywhere and made peace. This is not criticism, this is how they are. We respect that.
Do you feel that that now, as we come into this quote unquote new millennium, and knowing that in a sense, you know, myself reading Quran where the Quran says that Allah created man from one single soul, things like that. Now, does that conflict with that ayat, or does what is the you know what, let's do this before you answer that. Before you answer that, we're gonna break away for 1 minute, and then we'll be back with
You would call it Shahada.
Yes, sir.
The Shahada is merely a declaration. We wrote a letter. It says, "Dear Savior Allah, I believe in the religion of Islam as taught by thy servant Elijah Muhammad. I desire to reclaim my own. I desire a name from thee." That is the registered letter we wrote.
That's when everybody got their X's.
Everybody got their X.
Wow. Now the registration, what kind of numbers were we talking? I mean, were there because I've heard that they were, you know, from say Joseph 1X to Joseph 112X, or you know, I mean, I heard there were just so many.
They were. I was Leonard 12X.
Okay.
You got an X. If you were the first Leonard, you became Leonard 1X.
Correct.
If you were number 12, Leonard, you became Leonard 12X.
Correct. And what did that do?
But only in that city.
Okay.
So if I move to Boston, I may be Leonard 1X, Leonard X then.
Just starts right over according to how many are registered in that city.
How many
That's where you
Leonards
fit
in
into
that
the
city?
slot. Okay. So now, what was the psychology behind that? When we took on the X, what was the psychology with that?
Getting rid of your slave names. We have names that belong to the slave master.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Weir. That's German. It's not Nigerian.
I got you. Okay.
McNeil. That's Irish or Scottish.
Smith.
Smith could be either English or Irish, you know. Or it could be German, depending on how you spell it. So the best way to free yourself is to get rid of the names first.
That's right.
So we got rid of our names. And we began to write our letters saying Leonard 12X, and they write the name Weir in small letters.
That this is the break between that and that. So now, was it like that when it came to, simple things like food and, our habits? What kind of other things did we get rid of that were?
We had no pork. That was the first thing.
Absolutely.
Then we had the moral code. You couldn't talk to a sister unless you intend to marry her. There were no long courtships, no sweethearting.
Mm-hmm.
When you visit a sister, you had to have a chaperone. Her mother would be there, or another married couple would be there.
And that was to kind of keep the purity and...
Sure, because keep us straight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, women had to wear their dresses 4 inches below their knees, 4 inches then. They didn't always wear long dresses, but they wore 4 inches below their knees.
Okay.
The uniforms even 4 inches below their knees. In fact, in the 60s, the uniform was just below the knees. Then later on became down to the ankles.
And the brothers and the men?
The men had to wear suits and ties, shirt and tie every day.
What was the significance of that?
If you put on relaxed clothes, you just relax. You sit on the sidewalk with jeans on.
Right. What did it seem in your experience and for yourself or other people? What did it seem to do to the psyche of?
Gave you a sense of worth, a sense of pride. You put a new suit on a child, he walked different.
We know you were in law enforcement. I know that you said there were some challenges in that. Did you feel it yourself or see yourself as part of a movement, a political movement, a religious movement? How did you see yourself?
No, because Muhammad told us that Islam wasn't a religion, it was a way of life.
Okay.
Even the Holy Quran says that.
Mm-hmm.
This day I perfected Islam for you as a religion, not because religion means way of life. But when I came to Mr. Muhammad's house, I was not in awe. In September of 1968, I received a special delivery letter from him, a special delivery letter. Invited me to his home.
Wow.
December 13th, 68 for dinner.
Wow.
I had been in Chicago, Champaign, I had the Afro-American Police, I had formed the Afro-American Police Association nationally.
The national.
Yes.
Great.
And so what happened, Mr. Muhammad heard about it. And he invited me to his home.
Great contribution.
And I went to his house. He said, be there at 4 o'clock and leave at 7. Because at 7 he'd make his prayers. At that dinner, he said to us, not to me, but at the table, he said he wanted to sell milk for 25 cents a quart. Then he wanted to sell eggs for 50 cents a dozen. And I thought about that. He had a farm that produced milk, that produced eggs. I came back to New York City, rented a truck. I opened a dairy.
In New York?
In New York.
Wow.
147th Street and 7th Avenue.
What year?
1971. They put it in Muhammad Speaks.
Okay.
New outlet for Muhammad's products. I went to Chicago with a truck and loaded up with eggs. Brought to New York City and sold them.
Wow.
Then I had a truck coming in here bringing 600 dozen eggs at a time. 600 dozen eggs.
Wow.
And Mama had to call your eggs. Wholesome brown eggs. And I sold those eggs we sold eggs on the street.
They were brown eggs, not white, right? Alhamdulillah.
And so, yeah.
I heard there was a lot of industry back then, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of ambition.
What's some of the other things you remember?
I had the first bookstore called Books and Things. I put up Books and Things in 1966, 67.
Okay.
I used to advertise Mama Speaks.
Wow.
It was called Lenny's Books and Things.
Wow. Wow. And
when you saw those books and things, that came from me.
Wow. That's wonderful.
And then I formed branches of black police officers around the country.
What was it called?
Branches of organizations of black police officers.
Okay.
In 1969, I gave a dinner for Honorable Elijah Muhammad at the Waldorf Astoria, New York City. Percy Sutton, Charlie Rangel, the police commissioners, the deputy police commissioner, they all came to that dinner to honor the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I had the videotape for that.
Still have Wow. I need a copy.
Yeah.
That is great.
And at the Waldorf Astoria.
Now let me ask you something. Today, when you look back at all of the struggles and things sacrifices that you've made and other pioneers have made, and I know you said you were exposed and spent time around Captain Shaw and Imam Ali Rashid and different people who were in your midst. What do you see today that you would like to see maybe be different? Do you feel like that today the youth and or black people as a whole are honoring the legacy, or do you feel that they're dishonoring it? What's your thought?
I think they don't know it.
They what?
They don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that there's no brotherhood today. At one time, you could leave New York, go to Chicago, and just say number 7,
mm-hmm.
and they would open the door for you.
Excuse me.
Invite you to their homes.
Go ahead.
You go to California, and people would greet you. Today they ask who you with.
You saying before you could just go into Chicago and say you're 7C or what have you, and be taken in the hospitality.
Hospitality, yes.
Mm-hmm. You don't see that now.
No, today they ask who you with. See, because we had one God then, one belief.
Mm-hmm.
Today we got too many big men. Now they want to know if you with this one or that one.
Gotcha. Personalities.
Personalities. Allah's out of the picture. So they'll criticize you for not being with a certain individual.
Yep.
So I accept it. I accept that because I had to live according to my conscience and my concept.
Correct.
So as far as they don't dishonor intentionally. The leadership does, but the people that in the mosque don't do it intentionally. They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Men like me are strangers to them. Actually, in the 60s, early 70s, there were no fat Muslims except for Captain Shah. we used to fast together. The first 3 days of the month, we would fast. I mean fast. I don't mean like eat at sun up, eat at sundown. No food, nothing but water and coffee for 3 days.
As a group.
As a group.
Okay.
It was called righteous competition.
Righteous competition.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
We eat bean soup and whole wheat toast. That'd be our meal.
Simple.
For a whole month.
Simple.
Simple. So that things have changed now. We didn't curse. We called baby talk if you curse.
Mm-hmm.
So brothers spoke righteously to each other. It was yes sir, no sir.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Whether you were a captain or just a foot soldier, they called you sir.
Mm-hmm. We love you. And we thank you again for taking this time out of your busy schedule, I'm sure. And
I want to say this, brother, also sincerely. What I said is not to cause confusion.
yes, sir.
Make those of us who are in Islam practicing it understand where it came from.
I've been enlightened. I've been
So
totally
I hope that
enlightened.
they don't get upset.
Not at all.
But it wasn't meant to. It was meant
Not
to,
at all. Not at all. I personally, had to adjust my psychology a little bit, but I appreciate everything you've done because you people in your position and people from that time have paved the way for brothers like me to even understand the word Allah or Muhammad or any of those things.
I lectured at Lincoln Columbia University, Princeton University, NYU. I had a TV program for 2 years. Everywhere I went, and I said who my God was, no one challenged me.
Wow, that was an amazing account. I've been inspired. I learned quite a bit, and I just want to thank you again on behalf of Barakat's Video Magazine for coming here.
Brother, thank you very much, and I hope you gave you something to think about.
Oh man, you did. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We are thankful. May Allah continue to bless you with longevity and insight.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you.